International Women's Day, the 8th of March, has been celebrated throughout Kurdish regions and beyond in Turkey and Syria, amid police repression in Turkey. 2 civilians were killed and 2 others wounded in Turkish airstrikes on Friday in the Jalalian district of Iraqi Kurdistan's northern city of Duhok. Turkish authorities have been accused of failing to inform the local and international community of the risks following a catastrophic landslide at a gold mine containing Turkey's largest cyanide pool. In other news, a Kurdish political prisoner in Iran for the past 17 years, who is under imminent threat of execution, has released a message to mark the 8th of March. Learn more with Media News. On the occasion of International Women's Day, women have taken to the streets to celebrate and demand their fundamental rights, from western regions of Turkey to its Kurdish southeast, to the Kurdish-led autonomous administration of north and east Syria. Some of the rallies in Turkey were marked by the Turkish government's attempts to suppress them, which were met with strong resistance from the women involved. In Istanbul, students from Istanbul University gathered on campus before marching to Bayazit Square, chanting in support of women's rights. However, their peaceful demonstration was met with opposition as Turkish law enforcement used force to disperse participants. On the day prior, women gathered in the southern city of Mersin to mourn the death of Merve Bayar, who was fatally attacked by her ex-husband, a police officer. Turkey's Kurdish majority regions saw major rallies as women across Turkey stood ready to defy attempted bans and take to the streets in feminist night marches. Meanwhile, Syria's Kurdish-led autonomous regions marked the day with a series of celebrations. Events were held in 7 key cities. The celebrations began early on Friday morning under the banner, "With the free will of women, we will end the policies of genocide, occupation and isolation." A grave environmental disaster has unfolded in Turkey following a catastrophic landslide at a gold mine containing the country's largest cyanide pool in the eastern Erzincan region. The 14th of February incident, which caused significant environmental damage, now directly threatens the Euphrates River, a critical water source for millions of people in several countries, and surrounding ecosystems with potential cyanide contamination, with alarming implications for Turkey, Syria, Iraq and beyond. The destruction inside the gold mine was so severe that it caused a flood-like release of toxic substances, including cyanide. Cyanide is known to be lethal to living organisms. These toxins have now found their way into the Euphrates River. They pose an immediate threat not only to the ecosystem, but also to human health in the regions that depend on these waters. Turkish authorities have been accused of concealing the scale of the disaster and failing to inform the local and international community of the risks. The Environmental Authority in the Democratic Autonomous Administration of North and East Syria, or AANES, has expressed its concern in a public statement. It has described the incident as a crime against nature and humanity. 2 civilians were killed and 2 others wounded in Turkish airstrikes on Friday in the Jalalian district of Iraqi Kurdistan's northern city of Duhok. The deceased were identified as Saeed Mubarak Sabari, a 41-year-old Peshmerga, and Araz Faraj Haji, a 29-year-old employed as a doctor's secretary, both married and from a nearby village. They, along with 2 other villagers, had gone to the mountain to gather beetroots when they became the target of Turkish airstrikes. The Turkish military has frequently conducted ground operations and airstrikes in northern Iraq, leading to casualties and displacements among the civilian population. Ankara has maintained numerous military bases in Iraqi Kurdistan over the past 25 years in its long-running conflict with the Kurdistan Workers' Party. According to the community peacemaker teams, a violence reduction and human rights organisation in Iraq, the Turkish military has carried out 241 bombings and assaults in the Kurdistan region since the beginning of the year, resulting in at least 4 civilian deaths. The civilians were buried today, leaving their families to mourn, with no statement yet from Iraqi Kurdistan's ruling Kurdistan Democratic Party, which facilitates Turkey's military operations in the autonomous region. Zeinab Jalalian, a Kurdish political prisoner in Iran for the past 17 years and under imminent threat of execution, has written a poignant letter celebrating the resilience and resistance of women worldwide, with particular reference to the struggles and sacrifices of women in Rojilat, or Iranian Kurdistan, and wider Iran. In her letter, published on the eve of International Women's Day on the 8th of March, she said,
"First of all, I congratulate the women of the world and all humanity on 8th March, International Women's Day. This year too, we have reached 8 March, New Rosen Spring. Women have paid a great price and lost their lives on 8th March due to unjust, brutal approaches and for the sake of achieving their goals. This year, 8th of March has a special meaning. Last year, after 8th of March, the Jinjian Azadi Revolution started and was followed by numerous attacks against women. They attacked women with gas and chemical substances, seeking to obstruct their goals by arresting them. Women fighting against the reactionary ISIS mentality in Rojava were subjected to ISIS attacks supported by international powers.